welcome back to the OTube channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And as you just saw, I have made yet another monthly rack store haul run where I go out into either TJ Maxx or Ross and show you my process of going through and digging through the jungle of fragrances, especially the one you just saw from Ross. For some reason, they just had mounds and mounds, things piled up. I don't know if they just got a recent shipment in or what was going on, but it was just like, there's people and fragrances everywhere in there. I did happen to get two things here, so not three like I usually like to do, but two, one from TJ Maxx and one from Ross. And you didn't really see me pick out either of them because it wasn't until after the fact that I found actually both of these. One of them was actually in the women's section at TJ Maxx that I checked after the fact. I didn't think of recording that because I was like, oh, there's probably not gonna be anything over there. But then I found this one, and then as far as the one at Ross, I didn't really see it because it was in the very back, and I thought I saw something like it, picked it up, and sure enough, that's what it was. And I'm especially excited about that one here. I'm going to show you what they are real quick. The one I got from TJ Maxx is this one by a brand called Aif, which apparently is another Middle Eastern, maybe clone brand. I don't really know about them, haven't heard of them. Maybe they're an up and coming thing, trying to be like a competitor for Lattafa and Armaf and things like that. But it's by Aif, and this is called Ramadi. They also had a more women's version that was in a pink box like this. And the only reason I knew this was masculine was because I looked it up online. So I may have cheated a little bit on that. And the other one, which is the one I got from Ross, is this one here by Mercedes called Ultimate, and it says Eau de Parfum. I'm extremely excited about this because I haven't seen anybody talk about this one. I don't know what it's about at all. Don't know the note breakdown. Just going to be, again, a first reaction and blind test on this one. But yeah, really excited. So the first one we're going to start off with is this one here by I would say Armaf, but it's Aif or Aif, and it's called Ramadi. Again, I did happen to look up the kind of breakdown on this. I'm trying to make myself forget about it because I don't really know a whole lot about it, but it kind of looked mixed because there's only like 6 votes of this on Fragrantica when I looked it up, and so it may be accurate, it may not be. Again, this is still gonna be like a blind test anyway. And by the way, this one was $24.99, so it's going along the same lines of how most Cod Lodge stuff and Paris Corner and Lattafas are priced at rack stores, which a lot of them are popping up now. And I'm really anticipating that as it gets closer to Christmas time and they start getting all their, you know, holiday special imports in and all the, like, filling up the, you know, fragrance cases and all of that, I'm assuming and anticipating there's gonna be a lot more Middle Eastern clone brands coming into there. Hopefully just as much as there is at Burlington, those are gonna hopefully be coming into TJ Maxx and maybe even Ross as well, because I've been seeing some stuff at Ross as well on that. As far as I can see here, the presentation actually looks pretty nice. It has a, you know, very, that, you know, kind of pull tab out box, but it has like this little floral pattern design that's textured into it, like where the background is matte, but the floral design is gloss. And I mean, it looks nice, can't lie on that one. And like I said, it has a pull tab out here, which will pull out, I don't know, something's rattling around in there. So, and then your fragrance sits right there. Oh yeah, and there is a, of course, like most Middle Eastern stuff, there's a piece of paper with all the other releases that they have from that house on there. Don't know what any of these smell like. This is looks like it's trying to be a little compared to Armaf, and maybe Aif is like an Armaf spin because this is the same kind of like display card that they have where you fold it and show it, like, you know, I guess in your collection or something. I don't know, maybe. Looking at the bottle, this bottle actually looks pretty good. This is really nice quality in here. Yeah, I was actually pretty close on getting the women's release as well, just for my wife to try out and see what she thought about it, but she wasn't too keen on it, so I was like, I'll just wait. But let's just look at this bottle. It is a clear bottle, but it has this, you know, opaque kind of grayish tint to it. Not as bluish gray, like a slate blue as the box is, but it does have that same color with the same kind of floral design imprinted on it. You'll see it on the close-up. It is actually fairly nice looking. Again, don't know a whole lot about this at all. Actually, I don't know anything about this. This is my first time seeing this brand, and I didn't find anything really at the men's section that you saw when I was recording. Nothing even in the out of the box stuff. And so I was like, well, you know what? I may just have to go to Ross and get everything from there. But I did go over to the women's section and I found this, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see what it's like. But yeah, and the cap is actually very hefty, very nice feel. This is overall very nice first impression just on the presentation alone. So hopefully the fragrance itself is going to be just as good as, if not better. Ramadi by Aif. Don't know anything about this. I'm assuming it's a clone, maybe it's an inspiration, but we'll see. We'll see what we think about it. Not a pressurized atomizer. I was kind of hoping it was pressurized or had a good push to it. It's just a nice push puff to it. Oh, okay. I immediately know what this, okay, I'm just letting it dry down. The first whiff of it is reminiscent to what one of these smell-like things was on Fragrantica, and I kind of wish that I didn't look it up because I really want to get a good first impression, but it did smell like it. I'm not going to reveal what it is until I smell it and actually go through and talk about it a little more, but yeah, I'm letting it dry down just a little bit. It is an eau de parfum concentration like most Middle Eastern fragrances are, if not sometimes it, parfum or straight or whatever, but this is an eau de parfum, so I'm expecting maybe a little more substance to it, but yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay. It is a little similar to what they said it smelled like, but it's a fragrance that I have that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite releases from Paco Rabanne in the 1 Million line. Besides 1 Million Parfum, it is 1 Million Lucky. And this actually is a lot like it. It has that green, sweet opening to it that's a little aromatic, but it also has a fruitiness to it, and a little bit of a candy kind of sweetness to it, which I know they attribute to a toffee note, and there's also hazelnut in here as well. And this has that in there, but it's not as, I actually kind of want to get 1 Million Lucky and spray it on side by side, but it's not as deep as that, but yet also not as fresh. It has a little bit more of a centralized sweetness to it. But it actually is a little floral in the middle, like a clean floral, like almost white floral, that 1 Million Lucky doesn't have. So like this is like maybe a floral twist on it. So maybe it is like that, but a twist, which I don't mind, because I don't want a 1 Million Lucky clone when I actually have the actual 1 Million Lucky. But a twist wouldn't be that bad. Maybe it can mean I could wear it in more seasons and more occasions, But this is pretty close. It doesn't have that same Paco Rabanne style of sweetness. It's not as complex as that either. This is a little more simplified. But overall, it is a gist. Someone else was also saying that it smelled like Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Mall. I don't get that at all. Ultra Mall is way more powerful, fruity sweetness, most powdery sweet, but this isn't that. And Ultra Mall also doesn't have a green aspect to it like 1 Million Lucky does, but this actually does have that green aspect. It's nice though, I gotta say, it immediately reminded me of 1 Million Lucky. Let's go back on Fragrantica and look at what the note breakdown is on this, just to get a, kind of refresher on it. Vanilla, fruity, sweet, amber, lavender, cinnamon, warm, spicy, which sounds a lot like Ultra Mall. So maybe this starts off like 1 Million Lucky and dries down like Ultra Mall, which is like a hybrid of the two, which is a combo I would have never thought about actually, which is kind of cool. 1 Million Lucky does have a specific kind of dry down. This is kind of going away from that, but it's almost there. Top notes are pear, lavender, and mint. Middle notes are cinnamon, nutmeg, and lotus, and the base notes are vanilla and amber. A totally different note breakdown from 1 Million Lucky, like totally different. 1 Million Lucky has plum, it has hazelnut, it has, I think, ozonic or green notes or something like that in there. This is the note breakdown for Ultra Mall, and it smells nothing like Ultra Mall. This is kind of weird. Is the note breakdown wrong or something? Maybe on skin it's different, and again, it's a Middle Eastern fragrance, so maybe as it macerates it's different. It smells nice though. Like, it does smell very nice. Not as deep, again, not as deep a sweetness as you'd want. It doesn't punch a whole lot either. Definitely nowhere near as punchy as something like Off and On 9 PM, but the way that's trying to clone Ultra Mall. Again, this doesn't smell like Ultra Mall, but apparently it has the same note breakdown, so I just don't get what it's trying to go after. It's probably a balance of freshness and warmth, making it an ideal choice for any occasion. I can see that. A lot of people say it's like mostly versatile for almost all year round. I can see that. A lot of people say the same thing about 1 Million Lucky, even though I think 1 Million Lucky is way more for the, like, perfect for spring and fall, like those transitional seasons where it's fresh, but also sweet and like a fresh gourmand kind of style. It's a very unique fragrance for what it is. I think this falls way more in line with it, but if it does have that more clean, fresh, like I said, white floral kind of aspect in the middle, even though it has nothing like that in the note breakdown, then I can see that maybe making it a little more adaptable for more occasions. Again, nothing like Ultra Mall, maybe a tad bit of that vanillic, fruity sweetness in the middle and dry down like Ultra Mall, but it smelled like 1 Million Lucky in the opening. I don't know what to tell you. The tail end of that, I did get a little bit of an earthy kind of fancy, which is weird because someone did mention petrichor, and I didn't even think about it when I smelled it. This is interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. And maybe it'll dry down different as it sits over here and as my nose kind of takes a break from it for a little bit. Now for the next one, and it is this one I got from Ross for only $27.99 for a full size, actually more than a full size. It's 120 mil, the same as my regular Mercedes-Benz man for Mercedes, by Mercedes-Benz back here. And it is Mercedes Ultimate. Have no clue what this one is like. And actually, I'm really hoping that this is, oh yeah, it says for men. Never mind. I was just about to say, I hope that it's not a feminine flanker. I've not seen or heard anybody talk about this, so I really don't know what this one is like. I've been on the lookout for Mercedes-Benz, man, Intense, the Intense version when I had back there, but nowhere have I seen anything about something called Ultimate. So, very, very, very curious. And you did see in the TG Maxx haul that there was a Mercedes-Benz one there. It was the regular Mercedes-Benz one, and I've smelled that before. I just wasn't too interested in getting that at the moment. This one I looked up nothing about, so I have no clue at all what this smells like or what this even looks like. Okay, it looks the exact same as the other Mercedes-Benz bottle, except with a nice blue gradient from like dark blue going down the clear, and it has a like a metallic kind of blue ring around the top. I don't know what to expect with this. I mean, it is blue, so maybe I'm expecting something that's going to be very aquatic, very fresh, you know, almost ozonic, marine-like, maybe mineralic and salty. But it could flip on, you know, flip on its head and be something that's actually very aromatic, maybe very woodsy, and maybe something that's more of a blue style, not just an aquatic. So I don't know, very, very curious, because again, never seen anything like it, never seen anything about it. So this is doing me a genuine first impression, and this is an eau de parfum, unlike the original one, which is just an eau de toilette. So it's gotta be some kind of difference in there. So yeah, let's see what this is like when we think about it. A tad bit of a better quality atomizer than the Ramadi one here. Ooh, okay. It's already very different from what I was expecting. Oh, it's along it side, but a little different too. But I'm gonna wait just a little bit before I smell it from the test strip. Whoa, yeah. That is extremely different from what I was expecting. Okay, this is almost like the original. It has a violet petrol smell. Very much the same DNA, I guess from the very beginning of Mercedes-Benz, the one like this, where it smells like a version of Dior Fahrenheit, because this definitely smells like Dior Fahrenheit, but there's some aromatics in there, maybe a tad bit of spice as well. It has some freshness that's now coming out underneath it. That's a little musky, almost ozonic, but it still has a little more heft to it than the original, like a good bit more heft. Ooh, man, this smells a lot more leathery than, I think the original one had leather, but this one's way more leather. Okay, it's starting to dry down, being more herbal, aromatic, and a little more, I wouldn't say marine, but almost blue style aromatic. Okay, it's definitely drying down a lot more different, but man, that opening was not, it wasn't rough and it wasn't bad. It was just punch you in the nose kind of style. Okay, the note breakdown is very different from what I was thinking. I thought it was very leathery, but it's not. It's very woody. And maybe I got confused with the way the violet was coming across with that, but very woody. And I did get a lot of woods in this too. Fresh, spicy, yep, lavender, aromatic. This is fruity. I didn't really get a whole lot of fruits in this. Amber, powdery, fresh, yep, green, warm, spicy. So there was a good bit of spices in it. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so the nose behind this one is Olivia Crisp. So no wonder it's such good quality and a nice blend. Top notes are lavender and cedar needles. Middle notes are apple, nutmeg, and mandarin orange. Base notes are amber, sandalwood, cypress, and patchouli. There is still a petrol vibe to it that's very similar to the original. And people say it's like all year, so maybe this is like the blue style. You know what? At the beginning, I said it either can be very aromatic or it can be flipped on its head and be a woody, aromatic, herbal one. And you know what? That actually turned out exactly what it is. So I should have went with my second choice on that. But still, I don't know, then maybe it's just the opening. I think the dry down, like as it's drying down, it is smelling a little more different. So yeah, as it dries down, I'm getting a lot more of that conifer woodiness, like a powdery lavender, like a cedar needles kind of thing. I'm getting a lot more actually of these cedar needles and it's like pine kind of woodiness coming out in this, which makes me love it more because that's like one of my favorite kind of woods. But I do like it. That opening, if you ever smell this or if you have this, is that opening not like a petrol violet, almost leather style? Because I got a lot of that. And maybe my nose messed up. Maybe my nose messed up from this previous one I smelled or from everything I smelled today. Who knows? Maybe my nose is just way off in left field somewhere, just playing in the sand and picking up bugs and whatnot. It's getting cleaner, a little more tame as it dries down. That opening was just very off the wall, like very different, but I do really like it. It's a huge honking bottle too. I don't know when I will be able to use all that up. So I'm gonna give my nose just a little bit of break and kind of drink some water and whatnot, and I'll come back and smell these in just a second. And I'm back, guys. Just give my nose a little bit of a break so that I can go back and re-smell these and make sure that they are exactly how I first perceived them, and just see also how they dry down and develop, because some things on both of these here were a little weird. So both of these were very interesting. Starting off with the first one we did, and I already smelled from the test strip, so it's actually projecting a little more than I thought, is this one by Aif called Ramadi. Remember at first I said it smelled like 1 Million Lucky, but some people said it smelled like Ultramall. I didn't get that, but let's see what it's like now that it's dried down the test strip. I still get 1 Million Lucky. It is like, it's getting more uncanny actually. That green opening, the sweetness underneath, and the freshness is very different. I get 1 Million Lucky. I don't get Ultramall at all. And like I said, maybe on test strip, it will dry down being more of that vanilla fruitiness with that, you know, spiciness in there, but I don't get that at all. I get 1 Million Lucky. And there is another fragrance that I smelled by Safari, or is it Sahari at one point, by that I got from TJ Maxx that almost smelled like 1 Million Lucky, but it was very low quality. But this one is way, way, way better. Yeah, it smells like 1 Million Lucky. Not gonna be the same quality, the same depth or blend, but it is pretty close. Again, for an unknown one that I didn't know about, this is honestly blowing me away a good bit here. I mean, especially on the test strip, it is pretty close. And like I said, I can imagine on skin it'd be even better, even better. Now the next one, which was the Mercedes-Benz Ultimate one, the one that at the opening I said smelled like the original, but with a lot more leather and a little more, you know, petrol-y and like heavy masculine. But now I think it's going to dry down to being a little more woody, aromatic, that conifer, pine needle style. So let's see if it's freshened up and dried down a little more woody as well. It has actually. It's actually gotten a good bit more pine needly. Very similar actually to Tommy Bahama's Maritime Triumph back here, which is a really, really, really good fragrance, by the way. Like very classy, mature, like summer nighttime in a club, whatever kind of club. You know, the very fancy things. But yeah, this one's a lot more pine needly now, like that one. But that one opened up a little more citric orange fruity, but they kept the same amount of, you know, the same kind of spiciness. Very, 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 very piney actually. It's also reminded me a little bit of the original Guess Man, which I actually really, really like. A very green, aromatic, pine balsam kind of smell. It's also very soapy and clean. A lot of lavender in that one. Very similar to that, but like a little smoother, probably a little better projecting and performing as well. Very easy to wear. I can see this being like almost all year round, spring, summer, fall, winter, day or night. Maybe not in the like the dead of winter, probably more for spring, summer, and fall, day or night, office wear, casual, formal. Probably not gonna be anything too youthful, so older guys, more guys who want something a little more mature and serious and, like I said, formal and dressed up, but probably like this one a little more. These are definitely two that I'm gonna wear this coming up week, so be sure to tune in to the week rotation video after this one, the one that comes out on the Monday following when this video comes out. But yeah, because I'm gonna be talking about how these wore and what I think about them. But there you go, guys, the two from this rack store haul. What do you think about these two? Have you smelled these before? Have you seen them out and about? What do you think about them? What have you heard about these online, especially this one here that of a brand that, again, I never heard of, Aif. Have any of you heard of this? Have you smelled any of their releases? Let me know what you think about them down in the comments below. And do you like this one, or do you think there's better ones from this brand? Maybe I'll be on the lookout for those. So if you comment the name down below, maybe at some point I can look out for it. And even the Mercedes-Benz one, I know there's a lot of flankers from the signature line. Which one is your personal favorite? And a lot of people like the Intense, a lot of people like the Le Parfum, and especially the Cologne flanker, which is very hard to get a hold of. But let me know which ones are your personal favorites. I absolutely do like these. I think they're great first impressions. It actually makes me very excited to wear them them and try them out, so I really can't wait to get them on skin. But as usual, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you like what you've seen here, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making videos just like this one, that you like seeing these rack store hauls, and what ways do you think I could spice it up or change it about that you'd like to see, or do you like how it is now? Let me know again in the comments below. And as usual, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or what you see elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the other videos that I have planned, that I'm working on in the background to bring out to you guys for you to watch and enjoy. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey, and hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.